What's going on, everyone? Yes, today is another tour review, and yes, the man that stands in front of you is Joesph Joestar from the epic anime series / manga JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, this is a character from a very lengthy series. What's cool about the JoJo series, if you don't know about it or haven't heard about it, the JoJo series is very unique, where they tell a tale from the beginning of a particular heritage all the way up to another heritage. So you see from past all the way up to future. What's very unique about these characters is that you see not only growth, but you actually see characters develop new powers, and the powers that they actually develop is very unique. Actually, it's probably the best I've ever seen, and it's not me just saying this. Out of all the manga books I've ever read, or even when it comes to superhero shit, I can honestly say they have some of the most creative ways of having laid out fights, or just in general really creative designs. The characters, if you're not familiar with it, a lot of times people may see JoJo characters like, what the fuck is they wearing? Because I definitely said that. The more iconic JoJo Bizarre Adventure character that a lot of people know of, either from the Dreamcast era, where it was actually on that, and it was on the PlayStation 1, it was JoJo, where it was one of the actual characters from the storyline. It was a very strong character. He had a more masculine look, where a lot of these other characters kind of have feminine looks, or they wear really odd clothing, such as this character that you see standing in front of you. Where Joesph is actually, this is the younger version of the dude in the brown or tan or whatever fucking color outfit he was wearing in that Dreamcast game with the actual hat, which was the grandfather of JoJo, or Jonathan, well, which one is that? That was something Joesph Joestar, I believe. Yeah, that. So this is the grandfather, and this is his younger period of time. So if you've never seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or actually read it, you should actually give it a try. It's going to start off pretty odd, but overall it's definitely very enjoyable. They do have a new TV series that's on Crunchyroll that you can actually look at for free. So you can actually look at that on there, and it goes pretty accurate to the books, because I've read the books all the way up to the standard JoJo story that a lot of people know of or remember. And I think I read a little bit past that, but I never finished it just because I didn't have the time. So that's some good old info for you, just in case if you want to check it out. Let's go ahead and see what this great figure has to offer. And this figure is actually the only JoJo figure that I own. This figure is made by Super Action Statue, which is, I think, is made under Medicos, or I can't remember the actual name, because I can't remember who made it exactly. Medicos, I believe that's the name that actually made it. Beyond all of that though, let's go ahead and jump into this figure, see what this figure has to offer. So right off the back, one thing about this company, they bring a ton of articulation and a very great paint job along with sculpt. I can honestly say I'm very happy with the figure. I had the figure for quite a bit now. I messed around with it a bit. I want to do more photographs with it. The only downfall is that this particular character falls in a very awkward scale, where he's taller than most of the 6-inch toys, but he's shorter than the most toys rather. So he sits kind of like that in between, which is, it's kind of hard to actually do photographs with other toys, because either A, looks like a damn boss from a Genesis game, or B, he's just too damn small, and you just really won't compare him with another toy line that actually can make any sense for you. So that is the side, and like I said, the paint job on here really nice. If you look at the arms, the nice hints of pink actually brings out the muscle tones, the nice gray wash that you see on the boots, and then the actual pants. It's really nicely done. And I was actually shocked on how great this figure was. the funny part is that when I purchased him, I also purchased Dio, which if anybody knows Dio, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're just gonna have to do some research. But I purchased Dio and I purchased Cujo. And the thing was, I guess Cujo came out first because Cujo actually has some really shitty articulation in the crotch region, where you can barely do any leg poses that actually made any damn sense. Where Dio is from the exact same line, but he had an actual better articulation. So I ended up selling them just because I didn't care for JoJo, and I wasn't gonna keep Dio without keeping JoJo, so I just got rid of them. But when I purchased this was a huge improvement in posability and just stuff that just makes sense for this figure. So that is your full 360 there. I'm gonna do a quick height comparison. Bring back. This is your Figma Guyver. That's how how tall he stands over Guyver. And this is your Shogoken Mazinger Z. So that is the height comparison right there for you. If I'm not wrong, Joesph Joestar actually is slightly taller than your Figma Guts. So he's not really bad in height, but just some figures he do look pretty tower over. And what's odd with him is that because I've noticed, I even put him next to a Batman figure, and he was the same height as the Batman figure. The only difference is most Japanese toys or most Japanese character designs have the tendency to have smaller heads with larger bodies and more wider, where a lot of the more American toys kind of have the anatomy is more dead on. It actually looks more realistic with the head size along with the waist and so forth. So it just compared pretty oddly with the character, but just to give you an idea of how tall you're dealing with. So he's like a 6-inch figure or like 6.5. So that is your full height comparison. So I'm gonna move them out of the way. Now, when it come down to this particular toy line and their accessories, I'm gonna be honest with you. Out of all the toys I've ever collected, they have to have the most I've ever came across dealing with a smaller scale toy. And I'm talking about they come right. They don't bring no crap to you. They give you a significant amount of things. So you're gonna get the 2 fisticuff hands, of course. And bear with me because I have quite a bit of hands to show off. So you're gonna get this. Let me see where can I place this. You're gonna get this relaxed hand. I'll go ahead and focus for you. You're gonna get this relaxed hand here. And it's nicely sculpted, nice wrinkles there. Looks really good. And as for putting the hands on, they're really easy. I'll actually show you that in a bit. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get another relaxed hand that's sculpted slightly different. It's slightly different because one of the weapons that's iconic to this character goes on his index finger, and he likes to swing the weapon around. So that's why this hand is made a little bit more relaxed and the fingers are a little bit more sprawled out. So that's that. You're going to get kind of a hold under the barrel shotgun hand, or it can be considered as an action hand. You can do either or, but it's really meant for the weapon that I will be showing you shortly. Once again, nicely sculpted. Looks really well. Alright. You're going to get the trigger hand that goes to that other hand that I just showed you. This is meant for the handle of the weapon. Nicely sculpted. You can even see the nails. Did a really good job. Looks really good. Alright. You're going to get a hand to hold his melee weapon. Also nicely sculpted. And it's all the hands, I will say, I've tried the weapons. They all hold the weapons very good. Like, none of them are loose where it feels floppy or any of that nature. It just works. Did a really good job on it. He's going to get 2 style hands, actually. Let me see if I can get them out the damn tray. So you're going to get like this weird karate chop hand. And at first it looks like your standard, but then when you look at this hand, this one is more close to the karate chop hand. So you get a very nice variety of hands, where a lot of toys, from small and big, you don't get that type of quality where you see a ton of different hands. Like, you literally just see matches to each side, either right and left, where this one, they kind of want you to understand that the character that you have is a particular style character and he has a particular style attitude, so there's no reason why he should have the same hand pose that the next character that you purchase should get. So I really like the JoJo toys due to that fact, and they do such a great job. This is the pointing hand, which anybody that knows, kind of like in the JoJo world, the JoJo family loves to actually say things and point at you for some odd reason. They just letting you know they're going to beat your ass. So you get a lot of that going on, but you do get your index finger, your pointy finger. You're also going to receive a different head along with it. Alright. Take this out the plastic real quick. You're going to receive this head sculpt, which is also really nicely done. Looks really good. Paint job is nice and smooth. Nice little weird blend tones. It definitely puts a feel of the book in your hand. So I really like this. Really good job. And if you notice, let me go ahead and come up here real quick. If you notice that good old Joesph doesn't have that headband on. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to spoil it because you might decide to actually watch it. So he gets the headband for a reason. And you'll find out when you watch the show. But that is really nice that they give you a different head sculpt with that actual headband. Now, going to his other accessories, and like I said, this character is hefty. Doesn't come with a light load. You actually get a nice amount of figures. I mean, a nice amount of actual accessories with this figure. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out a bit because this weapon is kind of big. But you get this really nice, let me zoom up so you can at least see the detail first. You get this really nice, kind of like a crossbow. And it's massive and it's really nicely painted. Looks really good. That's like one of the ball bearings that he shoot. I mean, this thing is really nice. The cool part is, right here, disconnects, like so. And you can pull off this whole entire thing. And the reason being is because you can actually take these off and make it look like he shot it already. And the ball bearing won't be there, but the strap or the wire itself will actually be at a relaxed position. So that is really cool. And as for the size of this weapon, I'll come back a bit so you can actually see. That is how big the weapon is. So it's a hefty weapon. Definitely not small. So you're going to get that. And you're going to also get his melee weapon I was speaking about. Zoom back up. And once again, a really nicely painted weapon. Really good job. And this weapon is also in the story. So what's cool about this toy as well, you get a lot of the iconic things that you see in the manga where he uses. So I really, really like the fact that this toy brings so much to the table. I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of toys need to pick up from them and start trying to give you as much. Now there's two parts that I haven't opened up just because I didn't know if I wasn't going to like the figure, and I never decided to take it out the plastic because I didn't know if I was going to sell it. I just never removed it, and I probably still won't remove it because I don't really pose him out much. So I'm just going to show you through the plastic exactly what it is. This is the other part to that bow. This is his other weapon here. And if you look closely, I'm going to go ahead and focus. You see a J on there, and on the other part of it, there's the other J. So that stands for JoJo. And that hand that I spoke about with the sprawled out finger, the finger goes through that, and it's like these two ball bearings that's on a wire. And I can't remember the actual name of the weapon. I just remember it's something with cracker in it. And the thing about JoJo, and when I say about their powers, what's cool about the story, over time in the books, and you get to another arc of the story where they might introduce another character, or they might introduce the same character but older, their powers end up changing, and they have reasons why those powers change. So it's not like some random, doesn't make any sense why one power is one way in one part of the arc and then another way in another. They actually give you significant reasons, which is really, really nice. Well, this particular weapon, or the powers that good old Joesph have, he got this thing called the ripple effect. And what he does, he sends his chakra, which is his energy or spirit energy, however you want to call it, he sends that either through his feet or hands or through a weapon to destroy or actually meld different things together. For example, he was falling off of a cliff and he used the power to actually link broken parts of icicles together and treated it like a rope. So it's pretty dope. Like I said, the creativity of the actual book is really, really nice. One thing I didn't show, let me go ahead and show it to you. Hands down, and anybody that have a JoJo figure, you know exactly this is correct. Hands down has to be by far the best stands, period. I don't care what nobody say. Best stands, period, that they make for these toys. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how this stand works, which is actually really nice. So you got this stand right here. There's the arm to the stand, of course. There's the hole that it goes in. Now, what makes this shit so cool, one of these sides actually pulls apart. And if I'm not wrong, it should be the front. It's never the one with the hole in it. Well, the reason why it pulls apart, because if you buy another enemy or another friend or whatever, you can actually recreate a fight scene from the anime, which was really cool, where you can take that, give me 1 second, sorry about that. You can take that actual other stand and meld it to the other opponent or the other character's stand and actually make a fight scene or make a scene together. So these stands have to be by far the best I've ever seen, period. So I wish other 6-inch or Figmas or whatever toy line actually utilize this idea and bring something to the table. I don't know if they were smart enough to actually just copyright that style, because if they did, then that was ingenious, but it kind of hurts us collectors because we don't see nothing cool like this unless you particularly purchase this style character. But these stands are, like I said, magnificent. They're like by far the best in my personal opinion. Now, that is all the accessories that you get. So you get, like I said, a nice amount of accessories. Now, as for articulation with good old JoJo, I'm going to show you what this great figure can do here. Let me go ahead and come a little bit closer. All right. So the way this works is JoJo head is on a ball joint / hinge. So he really don't get no tilt, but when you use the neck joint, which is also on a ball joint, you get about that much tilt over, that much tilt, which is really nice actually. You get about that far forward, but then when you use the actual hinge that's in the neck along with the ball joint, you can look about that far down. Really, really nice. You can look about that far up, which is okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off his head 1 second, which is really easy to remove. And you can see exactly what I mean, how it's designed. Well, the reason I pull that off is because this can come off. Because also in the story, he doesn't have this scarf at first. He actually earns this scarf, or not earn it, but he gets it from someone. So that's why he has it. And that one is actually just pegged directly into the shoulders itself. But it's part of them. But I'm going to remove it just so you can see movement. And what I was saying further at his neck joint, it's really nice. Works really good. Now, coming out to his shoulders, he have these door hinge arm style where they're way more secure. You don't have to worry about them breaking down on you. They may get slightly loose. I've had that issue a little bit, but it's nothing that you can't handle, and it's not going to prevent you from doing poses. But you can do like the whole tilt forward, tilt back thing, which works really good. Really nice design. Going down further into the shoulder, you actually get a full, what is this? I'm going to say this might be a ball joint snapped in, but it won't move like a ball joint. It's really, really snug and it won't be coming out. So the way this works, you can do a 360 or you can just move it like that on the hinge. It doesn't prevent any of the posability because you have this actual moving joint here. So it's really, really damn good. Going down to the bicep, you have a swivel. Okay, going down to the elbow, you have this really nice, cool double hinge elbows, where instead of you getting that half-ass bend, you're getting a full bend. Definitely nice. Looks really good, nice and smooth. A lot of people may not like this joint. I didn't really like it when I first seen it, but then over time it just wears on you and you just be like, no, what? Ain't no big deal. It does look odd, but it doesn't make you dislike the figure. Well, at least not for me. Now going down to his wrist. His wrist is on a single hinge. Okay, so you can go about that far up and down, and you can actually rotate the wrist and get it positioned the way you want to, so that way it can actually face the other direction, so you can make his wrist go downwards. So that's really nice, and it can rotate at both parts, so at the actual joint itself or at the fist itself. Okay, now going down to his waist, which is also on a ball joint, which is made really, really nice. Goes about that far forward, go about that far back, and then using the waist joint involved, you get about that far forward when you move both parts. And then you get about that far back, which is really nice range when you use both parts. Okay, you can do a full 360 because it is on a ball joint. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and go down to the pelvis area. This is on a ball joint as well. These can come off. They're not loose where they fall off, but they can come off. So you don't want to overwork this area just because you don't want to end up making something fall. But further as range of how much movement you get, his leg goes about that far out, which is not by much. Okay, it goes about that far back, which is actually more than forward, which is kind of odd, but it is what it is. You're going to get that far out. So when it comes down to them doing the splits, that part of the articulation is very, very sad. It's not the greatest. I would wish they would figure out a way to do better. But I mean, it's not gonna make or break you. Just because out of all the mangas I've seen, I don't really see them doing jump kicks or things of that nature. So a lot of times it just doesn't play a strong part. And I guess that's why they never really worried about it. If you go down on the actual thigh itself, it does have a swivel, which you can see right there. That has a really wide swivel, so it can spin all the way around if need be. Going down to his knee, this is also just like the elbows where they're double hinges. So you get a nice bend on it. Now going down to the ankle, it's on a single hinge. Get about that much. All right, and then what's cool, since it's like the Play Arts Kai figures, you can actually turn it and they get wide stances and that holds really, really well. Then the last part you get is a toe joint. So the only gripe I have about this figure is this right here. This is probably by far one of the saddest joints of this whole entire figure. Not because it's articulated bad, it's just that it's really, really loose joint. It should have been designed better where it can actually hold a pose. It doesn't hold. Like, you can make him bend, and he's well balanced toy, so you can actually make some things work where you can have him balanced the way you need him to balance. But further as putting any type of weight in this area, he's going to go forward and fall over. So that part is pretty shitty. But if you notice, which I want to show you real quick, let me focus real fast. This is what I mean by the toe joints don't play a factor. You can lift these up because he's so well put together, it doesn't stop him from standing up. So it doesn't play a strong factor at all about the feet. You can easily just put him down and he'll be looking okay. But that is it. Like, articulation wise, that is what you are working with. The only thing I would say, watch out if you ever buy one of these figures and you really want to be careful with, it's the head joint. Make sure if they give you the alternate heads, kind of like how this figure came, make sure to be careful, just because the alternate heads can be a bastard trying to actually put them on. This one goes on really well because it's the official head that it came with in the box, and most of the time with toys, the official head that it comes with are normally the easiest head to put on versus the one that's like the secondary. So that is my only thing that I would say, further as just be careful, be safe with it. Beyond all that though, that is my first JoJo and only JoJo figure that I have. But this is my first review of JoJo figures. I'm gonna have another character from the JoJo series coming in soon. I can't wait to do a review on that. I actually like that particular character and that style a whole lot. So I'll be doing that. And also, I have quite a bit of toys that I can actually review if y'all care to see it. Some of them was old reviews that I need to bring back, which I told you I will be doing. And some of them is things I just never reviewed. Like, for example, this is one of the reviews that I did, and I don't know why I had to erase it, but I had to. So I believe this is not on there on the list anymore. So that was one of them, which was a nice Robotech figure. And the other one, I had the Ava figures, which, as for a 6-inch figure, hands down, out of all the figures I've ever owned, maybe I can say the Guyver figure can kind of hold up to their standards. Maybe. I'm not saying for exact, but I think that the Guyver figure comes pretty damn close. This has to be by far the best figures dealing with posability. So if you want to actually know more about these figures, feel free to ask me. But beyond all that, that is the end of my JoJo figure review. Make sure, leave a comment, give me some feedback, let me know what you like to see or what will I do different that you would prefer to see. Also, definitely hit the like button, definitely subscribe, and thank you for coming by and checking out my video. Y'all have a great one. Take care.